Welcome to another one of Connor's tool reviews, and today we have the Leatherman Surge, and this is a pretty heavy duty multi-tool. Actually, it's the second multi-tool in my own personal set. The first multi-tool I got was a Skeletal, and it was the all stainless body with the 420 HC steel, which is a fairly decent steel that features in the Surge as well. In this particular version of the Surge, it's it's a decent quality. It takes a good edge, and it holds an edge fairly well. But yeah, the main reason why I went for this particular multi-tool is because I'm a tradesman, and it said, well, it didn't say, but this is pretty much Leatherman's biggest multi-tool. So it's for industrial heavy duty use. So I suppose we'll take the outside and then work our way inside the tool, having a look at all 21 of the tools that are featured in this particular multi-tool. And we'll be doing some tests. We'll be cutting some material and just seeing generally how it performs. And yeah, so just looking at the outside, it's very, very well designed, very well machined, lovely finish, feels really good in the hand. It's very, very ergonomic and smooth. There's not a lot there that's going to cause discomfort if it's in your pocket. Couple of interesting features on the outside. Couple of different kind of feels. You got like a kind of a stamped Leatherman Surge on the stainless steel outside. Any metal that has more than 13% chrome is classed as stainless. So quite a nice all-purpose weather-resistant tool. So let's get on with it. The first things first, you got a straight blade. It's a 3.5-inch straight blade, and this came absolutely razor sharp out of the box. I mean, it can trim hair. Like, you can shave with this. It's got the usual Leatherman locking system. The kind of very little blade play, horizontally or vertically on all these blades I found. Yeah, just really, really nice click. Very satisfying click when that goes back in. You have essentially a full-size pair of scissors, a small full-size pair of scissors. Very, very handy for just cutting any type of material, or you can even cut your fingernails if you're into that sort of thing. Interesting thing to note is on the straight blade, there's a flush straight finish, and on the serrated blade, there's jimping. So it's a nice little kind of like touch feel feature. Maybe if you're in the dark or a low lit situation, you can know exactly what tool you need to go for with that feature. Again, the serrated blade, absolutely razor sharp. Really, really good in an emergency situation to cut a seatbelt, or even to slice bread on a campsite. And you could certainly butter some bread as well with that. Next, probably one of the biggest selling points for me on this tool was the interchangeable T-shank. T-shank, how would I describe it? T-shank bit. Almost like a bit driver, but this is interchangeable, and it can take basically your standard T-shank bit. So you can change that up for a file. You can, I've got the file here. The nylon sheet was supplied with the tool, nice quality. So you can literally just swap bits out, whatever you want. You can, depending on the mission, depending on the job to be accomplished, to be achieved, you can take what you want. You can put a normal kind of blade in this from, a Bosch blade. Generally, they'll be too long to fit into this, but get your grinder out, cut that off, it'll fit right in, no problem. Perfect. Really, really interesting feature that, a lot of other multi-tools don't have. I've never really seen it on most other multi-tools, that particular feature. Yeah, so that's the 4 outside tools. Really, really nice finish. Very satisfying click. It's safe once it's in, it's not going to fall out. Just really, really well machined and really well thought out tool. I think I bought this tool for about maybe 150, 160 British pounds on Amazon. So, not the cheapest tool, but, in my line of work, tradesman, I'm going to be using this, every day. It's going to be in my pocket. I can cut plastic, I can cut wood, I can cut metal, depending on the application. This tool is going to be able to do it, and I can do it with confidence because, as I say, it's Leatherman's. It's pretty much the heaviest duty Leatherman's there is. The only other one I can think of that would even come close to this is the Mutt in terms of heavy dutiness, and I think this is even a little bit more beefy. Now, obviously everybody's probably wondering what the pliers is like on this. And here we go. Opens really, really nice. A little bit similar. It's similar to the first Surge, with the difference being there's basically more metal on it. It's more robust. They've added metal on, and also the pliers is a flat grind as opposed to a beveled grind on the edge in the old Surge. So it's really, I don't know. For me, I prefer this one. The other feature is they have really thoughtfully and cleverly added in a kind of a feature on this that the blades can be changed into pliers, because even in my Leatherman Skeletal, you can't change the plier blades. Now I've had that for probably about 10 years, and these blades are getting, they've been heavily used, so it's a really nice thing that these can be changed, and swapped out with different blades. Really, really nice feature. Obviously you have, the hard wire cutter. You've got the bit on the outside for bolts, nuts. You can grab onto needle nose pliers at the top for your more intricate work. You've got an even thicker wire cutters in this part here that can cut really, really dense wire. And you've got a crimpers as well to crimp, to put crimpers on to connect two cables together, which is really nice as well. So this is a good one for, it's very good for DIY around the house. Maybe the odd little bits of electrical work here and there. Perfect. Next thing I'd like to point out, I'd like to move away from the pliers now and move on to some of the smaller tools. So I'm actually there's a couple of little buttons here, and you press those in and they release your tools, which is a really, really solid feature. And in here, you've basically got, flathead screwdriver bits and an awl. And the awl is for, you can sew leather together. You can use it as a brad awl to start screws or nails. You could pop into a tin can with that, no problem. And maybe if there was juice or something inside, let the juice out before you open the can, whatever you want. This is the big flathead bit. It's basically, I like to think of it as a kind of a mini crowbar almost. It's really, really beefy. There's no chance of this bending on you. To pop a tin of paint open, or you can do a lot of things with that. There's a small flathead as well that can be used for your smaller work, and each one, if you can hear this, I don't know whether you can hear it, but it clicks in very, 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 very confidently, and you don't. It's not going to move on you. And then on the other side, we've got the screwdriver with interchangeable bits, flathead and Phillips head, and then a can opener as well, which is really handy for camping and stuff. But yeah, really nice. And then in here we have a wire strippers on the can opener, another very handy feature. And then obviously with the bit driver, the bit driver sets can be swapped out for any one of the Leathermans. Now that's on a standard. These are not standard bits, they're Leatherman specific bits, so you're gonna have to, you can't use any bit in these drivers. They're kind of a slimmer version, but they work pretty good, and I've had no problem with them yet. What's next? What else do I talk about? It also has, if you can see, it's basically a measuring tape. You've got, imperial and metric there, so it's nice for y'all in America, or you guys over in the UK. You got the imperial, and then for the rest of Europe and the world, we have the metric. But no, really nice, and just thought of everybody on this tool. They've thought of everything. Can't really fault the tool on anything, other than maybe some people might think it's heavy. But for me, being a tradesman, to be honest with you, this is probably one of my lightest tools, so I have absolutely no problem with it. Few final thoughts. Is it worth the money? I would say, yeah, definitely worth the money. Any campers out there, survival guys, DIYers, tradesmen, any heavy duty use, this tool is going to stand up to it. This tool is going to be able for it, and it's not really going to have a problem with a lot of day-to-day applications. Now, obviously, with all multi-tools, they're not a specific tool. They're not designed to do any one specific thing, so they do a lot of things reasonably well, but obviously a designated, knife is probably this is still a pretty, it's a sizable blade, considering there's 20 other tools on this. I would much prefer to have, say, a decent multi-tool in my pocket with the capability that this has, over having, just the pliers or just a knife or just the scissors. Like, you can't compete with that level of like applicable use for this tool. It's just like any situation, you're going to be able to use this thing. So yeah, I definitely think the Leatherman Surge is well worth it. And at the moment, it's my second Leatherman. So yeah, I think I'm going to be holding on to this one though for a while. And it seems to be, from what I can gather, I think I'm going to have this for a few years to come. You're more than likely to lose it than break it, really. So, but as I said, it comes with a nice nylon sheet, and you can put it in your on your belt, or just throw it straight into your tool bag. And comes with this nice little plastic kind of bit holder, and that then slots into the holder. And then yeah, it's just all very neat. It's a very small, neat package in my opinion, and well worth the money. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say for it. So I'm really happy with it. So thank you, Leatherman. You've done it again.